The new debate online, I realize you don't invest all your energy online about a Kevin Hart, get a disposition and cry over ruined milk, or you keep on doing what you specialize in and succeed. It's a well-known fact that Kevin Hart and Katt Williams have varying thoughts regarding what achievement truly involves. And in his astonishing announcement, Cap has reliably simmered an opponent in the calling for offering his spirit to Broadway and disregarding every one of his ethics to prevail in the field as extra private claims surface. Apparently, this battle between two humorists has since a long time ago stopped being about who is more clever. Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel Celeb Zone. The question between Katt Williams and Kevin Hart is thusly the same old thing in media outlets, yet apparently Katt is ready to protect his angry attitude and unrefined abuses coordinated on the most fundamental level. Williams has the assessment that Kevin needs ability, and that the degree of his prosperity to date must be cleared up by his participation and readiness for basically sell his spirit and different bits of his body in return for progress. No man, I'm a firm accepting that all that in the business occurs for an explanation. By embracing such a systematic demeanor, Kevin basically sabotages his colleagues as feline naturally suspects, and keeping in mind that a few people can't think twice about ethics, which is the reason they are not effective in life. Consistent characters like Kevin will do essentially anything to expand what is going on anyway. Kevin is depicted as a tenacious laborer in his Twitter bio, Kevin Hart here, and I set forth some parcel of energy that typifies me the best. Everybody tries to popularity, yet no one needs to invest the energy it truly does anyway. Prompt a few speculative thoughts in regards to the premise of Kevin's prosperity. And as per Katt, to progress to a higher degree of achievement, today one should simply conform to the unreasonable requests of the modern tip-top. Moreover, Kevin wasn't the primary individual to go through unambiguous services in opposition to Feline's conviction. Kevin doesn't need to stress over the thing individuals will say regarding him wearing a dress due to the long queue of dress-wearing individuals before him. So presently, and Feline Williams isn't the main comic who has spoken openly about this commencement function, demonstrating that this isn't some crazy rubbish from a desirous individual wearing a dress, is simply the starting, it appears. And on the off chance that one agrees to an obviously innocuous deed, their will is dynamically debilitated until the craftsman loses his spirit, completely being familiar with the open doors that can be tossed at you. Everything unquestionably revolves around decision. You realize no one pursues you do anything. The choice is dependably private. I concur anyway. As per Feline, assuming more people agree with such thoughts, it cultivates a harmful environment in the business, where certain things are expected of every single craftsman, and it's easy to dispose of such badly designed individuals altogether, assuming they choose to abruptly quit getting into similar rhythm as different geniuses. And Katt is one of a handful of the celebrities who uninhibitedly examines the unusual Hollywood climate and the tensions that the elites are looking on youthful craftsmen that bade them empower them to sell their spirits for distinction in occupations. Another notable entertainer, Dave Chappelle, portrayed his experience of turning down rewarding potential outcomes, including a $50 million bargain at the level of his vocation sanctuary's profession, crested in 2003. Yet it didn't take him long to see what was happening in the business. In 2005, he suddenly left the arrangement of his program and passed on Hollywood to keep away from oppression from tabloids in the legislative issues of Hollywood. Later in his discussion with Oprah, he explained his inspirations. He said his choice to leave the show was spurred by the acknowledgement that achievement was not what he had envisioned it to be. Truth be told, as his distinction developed, he understood that he would be compelled to do things that made him self-conscious. Accordingly, he chose to pass on the show too. And here's a statement: do what I like to do, and stay away from a portion of the pieces of it that I was awkward with. Dave would have rather not twisted to the states of the business, since he needed to keep up with his mental stability and stick to his own limits in spite of the cash immersing is gathering. And him being at the level of his destiny, our person, Kevin Hart anyway, doesn't appear to be like this by any means. And as Katt Williams guarantees he will do all that to additional his vocation, the time doesn't lie and Kevin Hart's profession took not exactly right to where he is currently one of the richest jokesters ever with a total assets of $450 million bucks. So you folks ought to do some exploration, since there is truth in Feline's proclamation. Kevin didn't start his profession with a fat wallet, yet he can probably now decide to do anything he loves and get compensated well for it. He needed to settle on a ton of hard decisions en route to progress, and Hart once recognized that he needed to decide to get things done for cash that he wasn't exactly owed. With basically, Kevin had said that he would happily think twice about ethics and convictions to get riches. And from the outset of his profession, he was able to exceed all expectations to make the progress he is eminent for, regardless of whether it implies conflicting with his regular propensities and doing things he despises. In the wake of offering this precise remark, Kevin was logical, drawn closer by industry insiders who were trying his consistence. And think about what a frightening difference in occasions for the vast majority of Kevin's fans. He truly showed up on the wearing a dress episode of Saturday Night Live, which, as per Katt Williams, was only the start of Hart's soul's debasement. And this undeniable, the start of Hart's move to distinction. This might have been an occurrence, yet I feel that many fans are excessively persuaded of happenstance to acknowledge it. After that, there is talk that Kevin started to think significantly more adversely. Who knows how else he was getting reputation away from plain view, as one individual remarked, not shocked about any of them in that world selling out. Just a resilient individual can turn them down and leave. And another client added, the dress is valid. They go for individuals of color fruitful in the business. Then requested to wear a dress. The ones that didn't keep silent by Katt Williams was the main reasonable comic who disagreed with these cases. He was endeavoring to become wildly successful in a legit way, yet seeing another hero sell his spirit for cash was a lot for him to stomach. It's a well-known fact that numerous people go through these start Asian techniques. So it was inevitable, before we saw whether Hart was one of those creatives who focused on wealth before profound quality. Concerning Kevin Hart, he never saw himself as a Hollywood mannequin, so he didn't trifle with these charges. Williams purportedly changed himself into a horrendous comic by declining to make the most of Hart's offers, since he was simply jealous and languid. As per Hart, like a long queue of specialists before him, apparently Kevin Hart has no inner qualities or ethics and will successfully facilitate his vocation. While Kevin was quickly ascending to conspicuousness as a comic, Katt Williams, who stayed consistent with his standards, developed angrier over these out-of-line advancements. And think about what befell Williams after he voiced his perspective about the condition of the business. That's right, exactly the same thing that happens to different clubs who attempt to challenge the stage elites. Notwithstanding his status as one of Hollywood's greats, Williams hasn't gotten any acknowledgement, and assuming Katt Williams has gained anything from her.